I noticed there was a typo on this question. Actually, it was missing these words here, so I'll probably have to give the question right for everyone, but let me just go over it just in case, because it's a really important question that most people miss, even though it looks really simple. So what's happening here is that Joey's rent might go up from 400 to 900, and the question is asking you, how is that marginal cost going to change? And the answer really should be 0, and that's because the marginal cost is a change in cost, but the rent going from 400 to 900 is not going to make any change to the marginal cost. Okay, so again, the marginal cost is a change on cost every time you increase your quantity by 1 unit. If your cost goes up from 400 to 900, that is going to go, your cost is going to go up to all the units that you produce. So when you move from, let's say, producing an output of 1 unit to 2 units, the marginal cost is the change in the change in cost associated with that change in output. Let's give an example in order to make this more clear. Let's see if I can open here so you can see Word. A second here, and then I'm gonna bring this here and make it a little smaller. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so you can still see the question there. Now you can see, let me increase this to 200. How's that? That's pretty good. Okay, so suppose, for instance, that this was the actual, when the quantity is actually 1, your total costs are $100, and that is made out of variable costs that are equal to $75, and then you have fixed costs equal to, well, to make it to the same as the question, let's do the $400. So let's suppose that your total cost is $475. Okay, so and then when you produce, so this is when you have 1 unit. When you produce 2 units, your total cost will go up. Let's say your total cost will go up to 500. And that's because your variable cost is going to increase from 75 to 100, and your fixed cost actually stays the same because your fixed cost is the same no matter how much you produce. You have to pay the rent of $400. If you produce 1 unit or you produce 2 units, it doesn't really matter. All right, so your 400 stays the same. So their marginal costs between 1 and 2 are going to be equal to, so marginal costs between 1 and 2, let's go from, are going to be equal to the change in total cost over the change in output. The change in total in output was 1, and the change in total cost was $25, so it was actually $25. So the change in cost from 1 unit to 2 units was $25. Now let's see how this is going to change if you, instead of being 400, it's actually 900. You see that the marginal cost is still going to be the same because we did not count the fixed cost, which is the rent, in the calculation of the marginal cost. The calculation of the marginal cost only took into consideration the variable cost and not the fixed cost. And that's why the answer to this question is actually 0.